Welcome back inside the State Champs Network studios for a playoff edition of Michigan's High School Lacrosse Show. Welcome to Face Off. I'm Lauren Plant, Sean Baligian, Greg Durham. They've got the Michigan commit, the goalie Crandall Quinn from Forest Hill Central on the show. That's coming up. Plus, we're also going to address lacrosse injuries. But first, State Champs Face-Off is presented by Lawrence Technological University, several world-class undergraduate programs, and over 24 NAIA Division II level varsity sports that includes men's and women's lacrosse. You can recruit yourself by visiting LTUathletics.com. Playoffs are underway. Here's some of that action. We start with a Division I girls lacrosse first-round matchup as Northville took on their rivals from Novi. The Mustangs' Izzy Heath Shepard scored 4 goals in the first half, and Northville led 12-2 at the break. Liz Cherniak would also put 4 on the board as the Mustangs galloped past Novi for a 17-9 victory. Next up for Northville, a regional semi-duel versus Brighton. Now to the fellas for a D1 regional semi-tussle as Grand Ledge was taking on Saline. This game played at Brighton High School. Grand Ledge jumped out to an 8-0 lead in the first half. Saline tried to get back in it, but it wasn't enough. Grand Ledge freshman Tyson Cooper led the way with the hat trick as the Comics went on to a 10-4 victory, made it to the regional finale for the first time in school history as they would also next take on Brighton.
I'm Jonathan Kidd, and we go to a Division I regional final from Tuesday night as Granville took on Rockford. This game went back and forth in the opening half, and Granville was up 6-4 as we head into the break. And the Bulldogs will outscore Rockford 5-2 in the second half. Colin Davis led the way with 4 goals for Granville as they went on to beat Rockford 11-6 the final. It's the Bulldogs' first regional championship in school history.
You know, we're always looking out for your best interest here on State Champs, and that means giving you practical advice when it comes to injuries, especially when you need to see a sports medicine physician. This week, Dr. John Morasso, a sports medicine physician with our great partners at the Detroit Medical Center, has the answer for you.
So with lacrosse, we do see wide gamut of injuries. These can include soft tissue injuries like lacerations. That's where you get a break in the skin. They can be contusions, which is a bruise, and this can be of the soft tissue, the muscles. It can also be a bruise of the bone. We see sprains, which are injuries to the ligaments, a stretch injury to a ligament. We also see strains, and this is where we get an issue with the muscle. And within that, we also see fractures. We see overuse injuries like tendonitis. And in our younger athletes, we'll see things like Osgood-Schlatter's and Sievers, which is where the growth plate gets irritated. So we really will see it all in lacrosse.
You know, you can watch or listen to the entire conversation I had with Dr. Morasso regarding lacrosse injuries, where we talked about a lot, including non-surgical options. You can watch the interview on the State Champs Michigan Facebook and YouTube page, or listen to the Face Off podcast on Spreaker or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Just search State Champs Face Off. I'm Lauren Plant. Time to bring in Sean Baligian and Greg Durham, where they are talking with Forest Hill Central junior goalie Crandall Quinn. Guys.
Really glad to have one of the best players in the state. I'm not trying to make him blush, but doing a fantastic job for a fantastic team out at Forest Hill Central, the pride of the Rangers. Crandall, thank you so much for your time. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here.
Coach Durham, this guy comes from a lacrosse family all the way, huh?
Oh, yeah, I was pretty good friends. I've had the privilege of being good friends with his dad, Tony Quinn, who's a Hall of Fame coach. Well, you know, what's it like to live in those shoes there, Crandall? Is TQ good to you? Does he give you the rah-rah speech every day, or how's that go?
Well, you know, living under such a legend as my dad is definitely a lot to handle, but he does everything very well. He's a great mentor to me, and he does great things for, obviously, the lacrosse community.
Hey, if you want to hear more of the conversation, make sure that you head on over to Spreaker.com and just search State Champs Face-Off. Coach, you know, we've been talking about it for a while. It really is the best time of year. Everything leads to this, and this is what it's all about. And just in your time, and not only your playing days, but as a coach, doesn't it seem like just everything just keeps getting tighter and tighter? I mean, the usual suspects are always going to do well, but it seems to me that there are threats everywhere and nobody can really overlook anybody.
And I 100% agree with that, because we have a ton of these games that can go either way. And some of these teams have never been to that point in their whole career as a program. Anything can happen with lacrosse, and that's what's great. And here's the thing: we can score. Anybody can score in droves. That's one thing about lacrosse. You get on runs. You might go up 3-0, but then that team might go up 5. They might score 5 unanswered, just depending on how the game plays. And that's why every minute of those 48 minutes in high school lacrosse are so important, all the way down to the last 30 seconds, the last 10 seconds. I've seen a goal scored in 6 seconds off a face-off to tie the game with 1 second left. And that was unbelievable. And that was Brother Rice Country Day years ago. Brother Rice tied it with 1 second left on the clock. They won it in double overtime, I think it was.
Wow.
Crazy game. One of the best games I've ever seen. But upset city can happen, but so many times the old guard survives. But we'll see how that goes this week.
Hey, if you want to hear more of the conversation, make sure that you head on over to Spreaker.com and just search State Champs Face-Off. For Coach Durham, I'm Sean Baligian saying thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the action this week, and we'll talk to you again next week right here on Face-Off.
State Champs Face-Off is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit ltuathletics.com and recruit yourself. Face-Off is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine Pros. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female Athlete of the Year Awards. Stay tuned for the announcement of this year's 12 nominees coming soon. Who will be this year's Male and Female Athletes of the Year? Find out live Monday, June 6th, only on the State Champs Michigan Network. U.S. Navy recruiting, call 313-315-2560 and talk to a local officer to find out how the Navy can take you anywhere from the sea to the stars. Oakland School's technical campuses are designed for any student who wants to graduate high school with industry certifications, on-the-job experiences, business connections, and college credits. Check them out at ostconline.com.